Hi, this is Scott, and I'm going to introduce you to an AI search engine consensus app. And um, I think a way to summarize what it basically is it's LLM, as do other AI um, services, but also it has access to many research papers through a resource called Semantic Scholar. So anyway, let's look at this and just hit enter with my question. What are some ways libraries coordinate with refugees? Let's see what comes up. And comes up with a nice little summary right here. A lot of people like the consensus meter over here, but I don't think it really would help much in terms of my question. Think oftentimes this people think that this being associated more with science, but I think it works well for quote unquote non-scientific research, which mainly what I'm doing is social science or education, library science. So Copilot here gets a little more um, in detail, and it looks at certain headings like access to information and technology, and then it lists paper 1, 2, and 5, and other things like language and literacy support, etc. Comes up with a bunch of different categories and comes up with a conclusion. Um, what I like to do is we could look at the filter features, and I'm going to go from 2010. I could make it much more recent than that if I wanted to, but I think we'll just keep it in. I'm keeping the search kind of broad now, so I'm still learning about this topic. And then I'll apply that and see what happens. And it's of course taking a while, and got possibly some different ones came up. And let's see, so go here to get this. This is number 3. I'm going to look at a specific example of an article I'm interested in. Case of Myanmar refugees along the Thailand border. And then here you could, if it had citations, you could look at that, and that could be very useful to research to look at that, or influential citations. You could look at a PDF, you could look at full text, you could find out where it was found on the Semantic Scholar. I'm going to ask this paper a question, and I've already tried that. So what were the positive results of the study? And it talks about that. So it goes through and already, if you don't have much time and you want to quickly figure out what is useful about this article, you can find out, well, the positive did all this stuff. So let's go back and look at some other filters in the remaining very brief amount of time I have. You can find out whether it's open access or not, find out if the paper is available. In my case, it often is. Um, you can find out the journal rating, how reputable it is, the domains, which would be certain keywords, or the countries that you want to search. So I think that's a nice summary here. Thank you.